Hello everyone, welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Bucket.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
I didn't lose the last one, I sent it to a better place. Probably.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Maybe.
and entered the door on his left.
Alright, well now we can do the last bit on this side. The staircase. So over the large room with lots of boxes. I think that's the room with the gondola. Stairs. Some are both red and blue. I think that's one of the like weird endings where you're like, that one might be the one the
Coming to a
weird
statement,
glitchy ending.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, figurine.
Lately, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between
Stanlerines and
Figlies.
Figlies.
What do you think, Stanley? What name
Ooh,
better encapsulates
I do like
the intrinsic
no,
sense
Stanlerine's
of
still
happiness
better.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay, so what's different
But
here?
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
What was
maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms.
Oh, there we
Am
go.
I crazy?
Deviation.
He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Oh.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket.
Wait, but it says property of Stanley
How did I end
still.
up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would
Nope,
come
my
from
bucket
this.
is now
Who
gone.
knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh.
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me!
Nice echo.
The bucket. Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
There are a
He
lot
had
of
to find
buckets.
the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks.
I did?
He knew where the voice of the bucket
Whoa.
had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh, that's...
It was incredibly painful.
Oh, you mean physically inside of
Stanley
me.
doubled over in agony.
How would that work?
Backed out.
That's taking up a lot of space that my organs need to use. Mariella, what's your thoughts on the bucket?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Okay.
She arose, got
Oh,
dressed,
she has her
picked
own
up
bucket?
a bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town,
Oh.
talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he got
What is this
mad,
weird
ranting
bucket-driven
and raving about a
timeline?
narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
Oh.
But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh. Hey, cool. How far do you work? That's a lot of backflipping, potentially. So how do can I do the Stanley room ending with the bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Where are we going today? The bucket asked.
Oh.
Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfect. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
I
to his
cut him off.
chest
Sorry, Bucket.
and entered the door on his
So I
left.
guess we're going this way now.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
Oh.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to
Oh,
be.
is the narrator going to be pro this room now? Is there no extra dialogue now?
Truly, being here
Oh,
with
okay.
the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Okay. I like the reflection effect on the bucket texture. It's nice.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
I mean, a garden's a nice place for a bucket. You got some dirt you need to move around.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special
Oh, is
connection.
Stanley gonna get jealous? So give it 10 seconds and then we skedaddle. Okay, we skedaddle.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Bucket, let's go get lost with the adventure line.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Or did we?
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here.
Oh?
I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh, this is all references to other endings.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
The broom closet, the
We've
adventure
come
line,
together here
the
because we
mannequin
care about
wife,
you
the
very
baby.
much.
I remember the baby.
It's this bucket you're
Oh, the
carrying
friend that we were
around
supposed to
everywhere.
remember.
The bucket isn't even from the
Stanley's
original
computer.
Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones.
Oh, is that the
matter,
serious
Stanley.
room?
Classic characters from the first game, like the adventure line and the broom closet.
Can you even do the
Because
serious
that's what
room
fans want from a
in-
sequel. They want
on-
more
not
of
on the
their
PC?
favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the adventure line?
Kind
we
of.
could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Do we get the adventure line music again?
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows
Our
where it'll
assets
go
map
off to
to
next?
engine
Oh,
import.
and it played some silly music as well.
There it is. So I guess this is adventure line driven. The only map. Do they just like name all those containers after the folders?
Now, this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original
This is just
dialogue?
Portal.
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
it's
as
never mind, it's
classic
blank
dialogue
assets,
back
I
then.
see.
Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Oh, so he wants me to get rid of the bucket now? Oh.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud
What
to
is this
introduce a
thing?
brand new
It's like an
character.
engine.
This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Ooh.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the
So many
Stanley
buttons on
Parable.
it.
True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already
look at the
feels
engine
as
on
though
that
it's
bad
been
boy.
part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Oh.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
No.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
You could try.
Go ahead now, Stanley.
Insert
Say
bucket to
goodbye
destroy.
to the bucket. and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh, I'll miss you, Bucket, for 5 minutes. Oh, it's like looking back at me.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
Is it the bucket's like, please
what the
don't?
Bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets
Oh,
is
well, I
all
can't.
it knows.
The bucket's begging me.
That
I
is
can't do
its
that.
Singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon
getting
of
faster?
beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What
Wow.
other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
These are important
Okay,
questions.
The Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
Oh.
Quickly now. The fans are waiting.
She's
Do it,
mad.
The fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
My eyes. My eyes. Oh. Hey, Bucket Destroyer. What are you doing in heaven?
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
This was weird. I do like that the newer endings aren't as long as the original versions. Like, they're much more to the point, with still having a lot of funny new things. Okay, I think we've caught up on... Oh, wait. Oh, this isn't... I was wondering maybe this layout would help me do the...
A strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Oh, very fancy.
Stanley clutched the bucket
Nope,
tightly
going on the
to his
right.
chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I didn't. Now, we're in this room. Oh, wait, I didn't want to... Hold on. The sequel's now paused. I wanted to come here without the bucket. That was my bad.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'll be back for you, Bucket. I have to see the normal version of this next ending. Oh, this was... I thought the rooms were different for some... Wait, why is it getting... Why does it seem dark? What? This is different. Wait, is it different?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That was weird.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Was I
it.
so distracted with the...
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again.
Oh,
Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two.
this is
Now
different.
it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Kululimpa.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright. No, I won't. I'm going in here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5
Ooh,
years
shiny.
ago.
Okay, so how do I can get up here. Right, there's a whole thing to do over there. Let's go to this. Oh, I think I guess you can go in there. Can I not? Alright, that's 5 out of 6.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler-Anlerines.
The
Very soon,
Figler-Anlerines?
you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler-Anlerines. None of us can.
Figure-Anlerines. Hope he finds a good name for them before the end. Oh, right, there's an ending going down, too. Is this the thing with, like, the recordings of the...
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. I
I don't remember if this was in the original or if I saw this in someone playing.
That it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it's... You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head.
I love when he does
I
his
bet
voice.
that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate story.
Well, hey now.
It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
All right, guy.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Why are there so many tapes, though? Oh, I guess that's the end. Okay.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Is there, like, one of the variations of that, like, I can... Like, if he says that, can I, like, go back and say...
The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Okay, whenever he has new dialogue like that, or if it's a different room layout, I'm going to try to go back with the bucket. Otherwise, I don't really know if you can... I mean, you should be able to do every ending the same way.
Tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I didn't.
No, said the bucket.
Oh.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Well, I hate to disobey you, Bucket, but we gotta go this way first. Oh, is it gonna be a different recording? Oh, it starts off. What happened? Oh, a cutscene.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know.
Oh.
I've lost track.
Evidence.
Nothing feels real anymore.
Who is this?
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world.
Oh, this guy's
so
learned too much.
differently when
He's
this
stared into the void of the
is in my
bucket.
arms. Why everything feels so. What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Uh-oh. Greed has taken over.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now,
Who
I
is
don't
this
know
man?
who might be trying to get...
Uh-oh.
What's that? Who's there?
Who? Oh. Well, that was horrifying. Gambarata? I'm sorry, are we developing a new mythos in this?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Okay. That was weird. Oh wait, I didn't want this. I'm just like reflexively picking up the bucket, but I don't want it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps, but not. Okay, so we got.
When
I
Stanley
think.
came to a set of two
I guess the
open
next
doors,
thing to
this
do
was
would
not
be
the correct way to
fall on the
meeting
floor.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge.
There's actually a lot of
first,
stuff to do
just
in
to
this
admire
room,
it.
from what I
The
remember.
lounge was grand, majestic,
Oh.
perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room.
What?
It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little.
What?
This made him smile. At
What?
last, proof that he was human.
Okay.
But eager to
That
get
was
back to business, Stanley
strange.
took the first open door on his left.
Weirdly existential. More than a lot of the rest of this game has been.
Stanley was so bad at following
Okay, so
directions,
I know
it's incredible he wasn't 5 years
there's
ago.
fall down. There's fall on that railing. There's go that way. So fall down first.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started.
Oh.
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
In theory, I should be able to see out these windows, no?
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket.
How many
Stanley
bucket
was a
lines are
lucky
there?
fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Holy smokes. Okay. So what's the bucket gonna say if I jump off the structure?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the
Also, does the
meeting room.
bucket
But
have
Stanley
different
had
lines
felt
for
bucket calling to him,
the
telling him
lounge as
that
well?
The employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket...
it's the same.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Isn't there a thing if I go back and do start listening to them? I have to try something after this.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death,
Oh.
that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay. Same thing, but bucket flavored. Oh, again, this room. Okay, I don't want the bucket. I'm gonna go...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the
Let me
correct
try...
way to the
I
meeting
think
room,
there's
and
a
Stanley
different
knew it
thing if you
perfectly well.
go...
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
If you
It was okay.
don't... Okay, if I don't
But
listen...
eager to get
It
back
was
to
okay,
business,
he said.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, now if I start following him again,
And so he
I
detoured
think...
through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So can I now go this way? No, okay. I don't know if this is any different, but... Oh, so what I'm missing somewhere red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
No,
his
this doesn't
boss's office.
seem to be different. No. No, okay, this is not the same. Or this is the same. I thought there was something like you start not listening to the narrator, but then you do listen.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I'll be back for you later,
Perhaps he had
Bucket.
simply missed a memo.
I have to start. I have to follow a little bit more of the
When
instructions.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. and
So is it just
Stanley
going to
knew it
be
perfectly
it's
well.
all right from now on
Perhaps he
in
wanted
the
to
lounge?
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Oh, okay, we're done. We're done here.
But
Okay, that's
eager
fine.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What's the? I forget which is the one that breaks the game because that was the
Stanley so
confusion
bad at
ending.
Following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, so
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to
danger
you?
everywhere.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
okay.
Now listen
Oh.
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. And there it is. The last
Stiggly Wiggly.
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Fair enough.
Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
All right. Well, that's that. I forgot which door he just said.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
Oh, I have to do this
problem
again
is
with the
all these
blue door,
choices.
too?
The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would
Oh,
both
this might be
be
what I
so
was thinking
much
of.
happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Oh, this is the one I was thinking of.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Pretty. This would be cool to be in a room like this with like a big projector screen. Man, I miss those old like. They weren't observatories, but like some museums had where you can sit and they do like a star show. That was always so cool. It's like, ooh. It was like a dome, but like it was just basically a bunch of screens in the shape of a dome on the inside, and they do like this is this part of space, and here's Mars, and it was really cool. I miss stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure they still exist out there, but there's no real reason to go out of my way to see them at this point. Unless they have... Has there been any new recent big space discoveries besides higher res pictures of a lot of the planets we already know about? Like, so I guess it just repeats with different colors. So I think you leave now?
No, wait. Where are you going?
Oh, wait, this is not... This is... Oh, this ending. Oh.
Oh, no.
Stay away from
Remember
those
there was-
stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset.
Remember
We'll
there was
lose
that
all of
content
this.
warning thing in the options? This was
Please,
probably
no,
why.
Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
No!
Oh, I'm slower.
Thank God. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
Yeah, this is a...
That you'll
I don't
throw
like
yourself
this
from
ending.
This platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Ooh. I hope the bucket version of this is nicer.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it.
Oh,
don't
God,
know
they make you
anymore.
do it for so long,
Just
too.
wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Ooh. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is, in fact, not fun. Please don't make me keep doing this. 4 has got to be enough. I'm so slow.
Is it over?
Oh, okay. I think it's
It's going
done.
to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Ah, I forgot how bad that one was. I'm surprised they didn't, like, cut it for this version. Narrator?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't
I
it fill you to the
suppose.
brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh,
I
okay.
would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, it's... Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Sure, sure. So this is the same. Right? Wait, what happened to the thing that was supposed to be here? Wasn't there an award here before? Where'd it go? Oh, this is different.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Oh, 7 out of 6? That's weird. Okay. Am I getting ended with 12 out of 6? I'm going above and beyond. Executive bathroom.
And
Okay.
here was a second Stanlerine. You
No
found
graffiti?
this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom.
Does it actually remember
You
the
did that,
order
Stanley. I'll be
that I
honest.
found them?
Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Okay, so it'll be this one. And then the next one would be the elevator, I think. Yeah, it was the
Okay,
boss's
let's
office.
do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
The third one was the boss's office. Or the elevator from the boss's office.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
I don't know about that one, Chief. I feel like I've forgotten a lot of the third times I did something. They kind of stopped becoming remarkable.
Let's see, what came next?
Not whatever this
Oh, yes,
is.
we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I hear whispering. What the hell's this? What is that? Oh, there's a rat in there. I think it's a rat or a tiny dog. No, it's a rat. Okay, this is a weird room. Can't say I remember this one. This is also
was the
different.
fifth mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact,
That's accurate.
because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh my god. This looks like something you'd make on like Windows 95. Maybe 98. What's that back there? Wait, how many variations are of this? Because you don't have to get them in that order. Just like generic Microsoft Word art. Oh man, this kind of thing. It's sad because I don't think this would register with a lot of people now. You kind of have to be over, what, 25 to kind of have a...
I spent a lot of time
the
making
context
that
for
video,
that?
but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
What was that noise? Okay, and the last one was at the doors. Yep.
And then,
What
Stanley,
was with the
then we
pink
came to
room?
the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
Yep.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind.
I thought the
Perhaps
last one
because
was.
It was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Oh.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
12 out of 6. Okay. And these both seem to go the same way. Oh. Oh, this is weird. You're in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught
Whoa.
up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh, okay. Well, now I have 12 out of 6 collectibles.
No.
Never
I'm
mind.
Not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can
You can
stay
do that?
here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Wait, can I get more?
Okay, yes. The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Okay. Weird. Are we gonna go back through the pink room?
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh, you... Okay.
Yes, I love that video.
You did a good job. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna have 18 out of 16. How many can I get?
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of
It
this
would have been
one.
funny
Good
if
room,
this was
though.
like
A
a
solid room.
pair now instead of... Oh, you could see the rat and then it goes down into the box. Wait. Why is there a rat, though? Hello. 15 of 16. Okay. The boss's
These really were
office.
a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Trying to maintain perfect orbit with this thing. Pretty good, actually. It's a little off, but I'll take that. Okay. Now back. This is so weird. I find myself saying that a lot about this game. The toilet.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does
could I have
anyone
avoided
ever choose
picking
to
these
leave
up?
it? Keep going.
17 of 16.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced
This one I
you to
remember the most because of the horrifying statues.
I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Wait, how far back are we going? Oh. To when I learned about them, I guess. Oh, but I used all my
Look,
jumps.
it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Man, I shouldn't have used all my jumps. But I wanted to see if you had anything to say.
Oh, yes. The two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
You seem to leave the same place, Stanley's office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
The game restarted. That's what you remember.
Yes, I'm remembering something.
Oh,
now.
wait. No, you remember something
remember
else.
Before this whole story got started. Back then, I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions.
Oh.
I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely?
Oh,
Yes,
this is
perhaps
weird.
That's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a
Are you
fish.
growing out of Stanley?
I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Oh.
I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Is the game actually going to be over? No. There's still so much I need to do. Well, not that much, really. There's honestly not that many endings left, I think.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders
The door's
stopped
open.
coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent.
I can go back in.
Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
No, the orders were still missing. For now. As soon as Stanley noticed that the door to his office was still open, he rushed in with his bucket and shut the door. The pressure of going out and finding another bucket variant on one of the Stanley Parable's classic endings was simply too much for him. "It's nothing but swapped-out dialogue describing a bucket," he screamed to himself.
It's not nearly different enough to be considered a true sequel. No. He would stay right here in his office where things were safe, familiar. If others were happy with the bucket endings, well, good for them.
But this is a bucket ending.
But Stanley knew that one day, somehow, a true sequel would emerge with actual new content. If only he had waited long enough. Just a little longer, Stanley. Keep waiting. You'll get
I wonder
it
if they
one
do
day,
plan on
surely.
making a Stanley Parable too.
Eventually. Just
Or
keep waiting.
they could just make it a different
Just a
parable.
little longer now.
The Philip Parable. The Marietta Parable. Okay. Well, I got that.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Oh.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
There's so
Stanley
many
clutched
lines
the
of
bucket
dialogue
tightly
for that.
to his- This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Okay.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
Bucket, we
employee
gotta go
lounge was
find a
simply
pair of
the place
doors.
to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Oh.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Another at
Stanley
least
did
two
not
endings
question
up
why or
there.
how this bucket was speaking to him.
I think.
It should
And
have
then
alarmed
there's
him,
two
of
endings
course,
that
because
way as
buckets
well
can't
still.
talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket
there's-
had
I'll
spoken
look
to
up a
him,
list
and
after
he
this.
unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Did I though? Wait, there's no dialogue with the bucket. What's going on? There's no talking at all.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley,
Okay.
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless,
Uh-huh.
what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Uh-oh.
I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Okay.
Step in here for a
Oh.
moment.
Oh, wait, is game resetting? No. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios.
What
and
am I
you'll tell
standing
me
on? It looks
whether
like
or
a
not the thing
runway.
I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Oh, okay. Are these all going to be gags? One of these has to be.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is
Okay.
a bucket.
So some of them are. Is there a thing for doing them all correctly?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Well, I certainly like this a lot more than the, Oh, wait, I guess there are no two doors with this, with the bucket. Sure. It's a rust bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to
Incredible.
the next one.
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm just going to say yes to everything.
Is
Oh.
this a bucket?
Come on now. This one is probably.
Correct. This is a bucket.
So we're just taking the piss, is what we're doing.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I don't know, man. Sure.
Trick question.
Yellow?
Both. Gotcha.
It is and is not a bucket? Is like a bucket with a hole in it or something?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Oh, is nothing a bucket? Is that going to be the gag?
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something.
Wait,
Unless,
what?
in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes?
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence.
Me
And yet
too.
now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
I don't think so.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
What
are we
happened?
reloading?
Is everything
Wait.
gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Oh
Every
no.
single thing in the game was a bucket.
Oh no.
God, I had no idea. How could...
Wait.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
I'm
you,
not either.
Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's
Load-bearing
all a bucket.
buckets.
But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right.
Who knows
here we go.
indeed. That's dangerous info in the wrong hands. Everything is a bucket.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it
So I
look
guess
like? There was
I'll
a
do the other
computer,
door
perhaps,
because I
and a
can't do
painting.
it with the.
Was it a
I have to
painting
check. Is
or
that
a photo?
sign with the
He
bucket
could
thing
no longer
there
recall.
if you don't have the bucket?
But I really
Oh, yeah,
do
it does
want
say
to
no
help
buckets
you,
past this
to show
point.
you
That must
something
be new.
Beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Okay, so we
Give
got
me
the
a
red and blue
chance.
doors.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I didn't.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
So I think if you go to the red door at any point, you get the other
I
ending.
still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Oh, are we back in? Oh, this is
There's
different.
nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the
Yeah,
end, it was
but
all
this
for
is funny.
nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see?
Oh, I think this is the Minecraft
Vehicles?
thing.
Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before.
I like the
Go
door.
ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now,
Please rate
tell
your
me about your
experience.
experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I'm neutral.
Of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh,
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again,
No, I hate
honest answers,
leaderboards.
please.
how'd you beat the game in 2 seconds, good old Neil? Whee, and I'm all the way down there. Only the worst 3 players chose the blue door. Are more attractive than Stanley. Is that my actual playtime? That's kind of cool. No, I haven't played this for 7 hours. Have I? No, it's more like 5-ish. Oh. Wait. Did the game break? Wait. Did the game actually break? Huh. I don't know that I've ever seen this game break. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. Telephone?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Okay. Thanks, wife, I guess. From the apartment ending. I'm going back to the doors now. Oh, okay.
Would you
I went
say
through a
that
different...
competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking
I tried a different
through
door and it
doors?
worked.
Again, honest answers, please.
No, I hate
Hey,
leaderboards.
I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
No. Oh.
In this game,
The baby game.
crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Ugh, terrible. So there is something for doing this for 4 hours. I've seen people who set up a macro and do it, but I'm not going to do that.
You heartless
I think it's called the art
bastard.
ending.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because
A
if
little bit
it's
of A, a
the
little bit
latter,
of
well,
B.
I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't
Show me other
think of
games.
a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's
Yeah.
see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What are we doing? Minecraft?
Aha!
Oh,
Fascinating.
Firewatch.
What do you think
Wait,
game
this
is
wasn't
about,
the original.
Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for
Not
some
quite.
sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Wait, what were the games before? Was it Half-Life? And Minecraft? I don't remember what it was. Wait, I think you go to Portal at one
No,
point.
no, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wanted
You know, I
off
think I
into
remember seeing
that
someone do this before.
thing, that big open, just wandering around.
I did
no
not remember
right
it was
or wrong
Firewatch,
directions,
though.
No path to follow. You could
But I
just
do remember
go
these
in
walls.
any...
Unless that was something from the original version.
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
No, we're in the
Okay,
woods.
I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something
Minecraft?
with walls.
Portal?
Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Or did this replace
I
Minecraft?
think this will be just the thing.
This is Rocket League.
Wonderful. See,
I don't
this
care
is
for
exactly
this.
what I had in
It's
mind.
fine, but
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
I never enjoyed
Stanley,
Rocket League.
If you manage to
Gets
get
a little
lost
too
in this
sweaty.
game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
can I have the ball? Oh, okay. Oh, I can go so fast.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it
Wait,
better
can
than
I
my
go-
miserable little... Hold on.
Whoops.
What are you doing?
Oh, because wasn't that the thing in Minecraft is you go down and you end up in the next thing? Oh. I have clipped through the floor. So this part's the same.
I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Okay, this is the ending I was thinking of where things get glitched out. Oh. That's a good whooshing noise. Oh, is this like the original Stanley Parable? Or is it just like supposed to look antiquated? I don't know if this is the original. Maybe it is. These are like Half-Life computers, aren't they? Okay. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
Maybe this isn't.
Very
I know there's
soon.
one where you're like in the ceiling
can
for some
wait.
reason. I don't remember how to get that ending though. Let me go forward a little bit just to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Wait.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is this different? Wait, this just seems wrong. Is it not different?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct
No,
way
maybe
to
this
the
isn't
meeting
the
room,
ending I
and
was thinking.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
How
he
do you-
wanted to
I
stop
don't
by the
remember how you
employee
get it,
lounge
though.
first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. I mean, I will look up once I run out of ideas.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for jumping. Misuse of cargo lift. Oh, wait, can't I do...
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom
pretty
floor.
far.
I bet you can make it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Alright, well, now I gotta do it with the bucket and see what that's about.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Stanley's bucket. The only
Co-worker he'd ever truly need. Alright, Bucket, we have a date with the floor.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
We will,
cargo
to the
lift.
floor.
Yes, go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Well, from here, it looks like the only way forward is down, since the lift won't be coming back, but that's okay. You've got a
Oh, it's a
bucket.
little
Did you know
different.
that buckets are routinely used as cushioning devices? It's true. You can fall on a bucket from literally any height and survive.
Press X to doubt.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong.
Oh, okay, so it's
Clumsy of me.
mostly the same. Alright. I don't think there's many more endings I know of. There's stuff across the lift, and then I'll... Oh, we got the weird room. So, we'll continue and possibly finish things up in the next episode. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. Come back, I'll have the next stuff up real soon. But until then, bye.